Can you smell it, guys? There's battle to be met. We're playing Napoleonic Total War 3, and my name is Apollo. Today we've got a 4 vs 4 online battle, and this is gonna be a pretty sweet one. So let's look at the battlefield here. Actually, let's look at the armies, the alliances. So on this side, the red squared side on the mini-map, we've got Spain, and Spain is using their guerrilla tactics. They were able to deploy outside of the deployment zone, and they're kind of protecting the 3 capture points in the center of the map, which you can see on the mini-map. So using this little tactic here, it's gonna make it very difficult for their opponents to try to quickly get over here and capture these buildings. Now the rest of his alliances, he's got, or his allies, he's got Bavaria, so lots of great infantry from the Bavarians. And then way over here we have one of the greatest empires during this time. He's got the United Kingdom, and then way over here we have Sweden. Sweden is on the battlefield, so pretty cool alliance. Now let's move on to the opposing factions, the opposing teams. We've got Russia pushing forward some cav already. This battle's already underway, which is a little surprising for this style of mod. It usually takes a little longer, but yeah, we got Russia, we have a French faction, we have another French faction, and then we have a German state. This is, I'm probably gonna slaughter the name, so I'm gonna go ahead and apologize now. I looked it up, and I think this is, like, apparently it translates to seasoning in English, but it's Württemberg. Yeah, that's the best I'm gonna get. We're gonna go with Württemberg. So yeah, they're on the battlefield. So cool, new faction we haven't seen before. So yeah, again, I apologize for the poor mispronunciation, but you know, I'm doing my best. That's the cool thing about this mod though, is that every faction has like the authentic like names of that, like in the faction's language. For example, you know, Spain has Spanish, like the names are in Spanish. I really like that. The only issue is that, you know, I don't really know how to speak a lot of different languages. I can barely speak English, but yeah, I mean, you can tell this is Hussars though, so it's pretty easy to tell. But anyways, I'm rambling on. So Russia is actually trying to surround and go around the Spanish defenses. Same thing with France here. They are just charging up a lot of dragoons and Hussars, and we got a lot of buildings being captured as we speak. So honestly, guys, I was not expecting this battle to be so quick. This is insanely fast, and it's moving really quick. So let's do some slow motion. Actually, no. We're about to get an intense charge. We cannot miss this. We got some heavy cav. It looks like some melee cav going up. Oh, look at them jumping over this little barricade. They're going to go ahead and charge the guerrilla units of Spain. And are they actually, let's see, are they trying to go around? It almost looks like, yeah, more and more Russian cav coming from the woodwork over here. Nice, look at this epic start to this battle. Fantastic. I love the early cav aggressive play. And here comes Spain sending in some of his own cav, trying to support the lines here. He is breaking the Spanish infantry, the Spanish cav, who are trying to protect the artillery, this hill point, this hill position. More French cav coming down, kind of making a sandwich with the Russians, making a Spanish sandwich. Delicious. Actually sounds pretty good. Spanish sandwich. Like I can imagine it's like sun-dried tomatoes. And anyways, yeah, the Russians are doing a great job. The French are doing a great job of cleaning out the Spanish defenses. They've got to quickly. Oh wait, a general has fallen. Whose general? Wait, whose was that? Communism will prevail. Not today. I don't know. Was that the Spanish general? I'm not too sure, but I think it was the enemy general. I think Russia actually sent in his general. I mean, with a name like Communism Will Prevail, I mean, I can imagine he's playing Russia. So, yeah, I think we can assume that's the Russian general. Now the rest of the cav is coming up here, and they will be able to clean out this really defensive position, which was really pretty good. They did a great job here. That was excellent play by the players, good teamwork. And, you know, I don't think it was worth it for Spain. They didn't really get a lot of kills. It just wasn't good. It wasn't that great. Anyways, now that little that little early Cav engagement is pretty much over. He's just running down some of the lights. Basically, these are volunteers, just running them down and clearing out this mess. And they could potentially use this hill now, but on the opposite side, focus their artillery pointing this way, and they can fire down on this long train of infantry. By the way, they're all clumped up is a word I was going for, because they're on the road, and the road is faster than just marching, like, say, in this grass. So that's why they're all blobbed up here, trying to get to the battle as quick as possible. But unfortunately, Spain was not able to hold this, and I mean, Russia and France, they knew they needed to take this quick before the reinforcements arrived, and they did that, and now they can use it against them. So well done there. Anyways, let's look at this map. So let's make this really big. So this is ginormous. So there's 3 capture points in the center. They're all worth, if you capture them all, well, they're all worth 1, but if you capture them all, obviously it's 3 points. What's really going to be important is right here, these little bases closer to the deployments zones. We got 1 that's 4 points, and then 1 down here that's 4 points. So it's going to be pretty crazy. Like, it's either going to be a bloodshed for the more point star positions, or they're going to just fight a bloody fight for the center town. So Spain is kind of going into the buildings. He's getting ready to bunker down and prepare to hold. France could, they could try to charge in their cav. It depends how far away their infantry is. Yeah, their infantry is pretty far. So this might be pretty difficult for the Russians and French, because I think, yeah, the infantry for Bavaria is like the Bavarian line infantry. It's going to be the first ones there. They're going to be able to set up unless they have something like marching down the road here. But I love the fact that there's a center road going like in between these 2 slopes here, this hill slopes. Pretty cool. Like, it's a race to these center hills, which is pretty important. Now back over here, we've got the United Kingdom kind of going way up this giant hill for no good reason. I guess it's just trying to put some pressure on the flank, but he's got a lot of support, a lot of rifles marching down, ready to support the center where they could capture all these different points. But so far, if we're looking, like, if the battle ended right now, this would be a Spanish alliance victory. And by the way, I'm just going to refer to the Spanish side, the Spanish alliance, just for convenience sake. Yeah, but since they've captured most of the buildings here, it would be a Spanish alliance victory. But thankfully, these battles don't end in 10 minutes. We still have another 50 minutes, guys. So don't forget your snacks and drinks, of course, as this battle progresses. So right now we're kind of in a slower part of the battle. I'm not going to fast forward or anything, because I know for a fact that it's going to start up very soon. France has his cav. I mean, they don't want to give up the hill yet, but they've got to be careful. They've got to be really careful against the line infantry. They could easily lose a lot of cav just sitting here, getting shot at, obviously, or even charging in. If they form square, they might be able to slaughter this cav, but it looks like Russia might be going in for a charge. We'll see if he actually commits here. Ooh, we got some line infantry. More buildings are being captured. Oh, Bavaria's, no, they're not phased. They're going to keep marching forward up this hill. Here's the point of view of the soldier. They really don't see much. Oh, here we go. Last minute charge, and they're going to try to catch him by surprise. And really indecisive maneuvers here. Now he's going back in, and he's going to try to cut down the line infantry of the Bavarians. But let's see, the rest of the Bavarian infantry trying to quickly get up there. Oh, he does form square. Okay, so this unit, now the thing about Napoleonic Total War 3, not every unit can form square. Only elite units can. So that's going to be very important for when you're trying to decide on a good cav engagement. You got to make sure you charge into a unit that cannot form square. France, oh, look at this. France actually has his infantry pretty close by, and they might be able to form up a little bit quicker than the Bavarians. This is going to be an ultimate battle for the hill. King of the hill right here. This is going to be really exciting, guys. Now, if we look around on the other parts of the battlefield, so nothing really going on. It's all the center point here. This is fantastic, too. And France doing an excellent job. Really good job. Now, Sweden, on the other hand, he's not even going for this. He's going to go for the back flag that's worth, or the capture point, the victory point, that's worth 4 points. He's going to go for this location here, full force. It's not like he's sending 3-4 units. He's sending his entire army. There was a little bit of a cav engagement over here, but unfortunately we missed that. But it looks like Sweden was obviously victorious, and now they can continue to march. Though I'm pretty sure the French alliance realized that he is marching over with a sizable force. The Russians were thinking about going in for another charge. They're not going to take it. Now France is moving forward and about to engage the Bavarians. The French should have superior positioning here because they do have the high ground. And if Star Wars, I always go with this joke, but if Star Wars have taught me anything, it's that the high ground, it's game over. You can't beat the high ground, dang it. But yeah, he's got his conscripts, his French line infantry. He's got his Swiss line infantry. Really nice combo there, and we're getting some nice shots back and forth between the two factions. Though it's kind of sad to see Bavaria. I mean, I'm pretty sure Bavaria was, they were allies with Napoleon. I don't know, I think they were like both enemies and allies at a point. So, I don't know, this works. I remember the last time I said the Bavarians were, it's like sad to see the Bavarians fighting the French because they were allies, but I think someone pointed out that they were actually enemies at a point. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. You can look it up. It's worth a Google. Though I'm sure you're just smarter than me and you know already. But more French, this is really good positioning. So he's kind of closing in here on the top of this hill. He's got more line infantry, even on this flank as well. He's just overwhelming the Bavarian lines. I think the Bavarians are going to disengage here. Let's go back over here where the French are also, the other French army, they're forming up as well. They're going to be getting ready to take on one of their most hated enemies, which is the United Kingdom. They do have some Russian forces with them as well, so we got a combination of French and Russian forces just kind of teaming up. So they will be taking on the United Kingdom. And what do we have over here? Now, I know this German state, Württemberg, is, I mean, they've got to have some infantry. We can't see it just yet, but I think they're waiting for Sweden. So, I mean, just an epic scale battle. This is why I love 4 versus 4s in this game mode. Now, the French are they're gonna stop pursuing. I think that's pretty smart. They don't want to keep falling. You know, Bavaria is just kiting him. He's trying to get him off the hill. France doesn't need to do that. France can just stay on the hill. Maybe they could set up some artillery, which they did. Nice. So shelling the position, just so epic, man. Napoleonic battlefields, just a glorious time, I guess you could say. I mean, all wars are horrific and sad, but the uniforms and the smoke and the artillery, it's just, if you saw the battle, it'd be just like really amazing, I guess, but at the same time horrifying, you know, just so deadly and just costly and just sad. But let's go back over here where I think the French and Russians are making a push to take this farmhouse. The Russians are in the middle of the road, trying to hold the road, preventing any more reinforcements coming down this way. Nice volley on some Spanish lines back there. We got another unit forming up. They're also going to fire at some 24 or 42nd Foot Royal Highland Blackwatch down there. They're not going to, well, actually, they're going to hold on to their fire, their volley. More troops are coming up this way. They might want to send some grenadiers to take this building, or maybe they could just let them fight for it, I suppose. So a pretty cool little situation there. The French got a solid line of line infantry, doing a great job. Setting up the artillery. This is gonna be like Napoleonic D-Day for these Bavarians, trying to get up on this hill, breaking through the artillery. And I think that's why the Bavarians are just falling back right now. Like, they realize that if they just charged in recklessly, they would get wiped out. So they need to come up with a better plan. Maybe they can push up their own artillery. But look at this. This is the Iron Wall. This is insane. Look at this long wall. This is crazy. Crazy amount of French troops holding this hill to the very last. Back here, it's a little bit clunkier. There's a lot of troops clumped. You know, there I go again, clumped up, blobbed up. Clustered here, and I think Russia and France, they're going to quickly try to form, because the UK, they're maneuvering pretty hard on this left flank. But France, you know, they've got a lot of reserves back here. They should be able to contain it. So far, I think this map is just slightly in favor of the French alliance, because these hilltops are closer to their deployment, and Spain did everything they could to try to hold on to it. They just got overwhelmed by some really good players who used great teamwork. Oh, they lost the building. Spain lost the building, and the Russians have now taken it. And I believe it's still, yeah, it's still the Spanish are in the lead right now, the Spanish alliance, because they have 2 buildings, and then they have their one way back over here, if you can see my mouse on the mini-map, with 4 points. So they have 4, 5, 6 against 5. So it's 6-5 at this point. But again, it's really early on in this battle. There's still 43 minutes in this fight. So this is anyone's game at this point. And we are at a little bit of a slower point. But it just looks so awesome, though. Looks fantastic. So the French, they're still holding this line formation. The Russians are going to be joining them. I can tell they're setting up 3 units of line to kind of stretch out with the building here. And they're just going to continue to hold this like curtain of death. And here we go. The German faction, I'm just going to call it the German faction just for convenience sake. They're pushing up some troops as well. So they're going to join this long line of death. Now Sweden, look at this. Sweden's up to something. This Swedish player, he's doing something sneaky, and I kind of like it. He might just go through this long path and just try to get behind the wall of death, oh wait, okay, here we go. We've got some rifles, some Jaeger pushing forward, ready to face the French lines. Oh my God, the French look blurry over there. Are the French falling back? Yeah, they are actually. Well, they're kind of slightly re-maneuvering. And now the Russians are taking this spot here. UK kind of pushing. He's pushing up some rifles. We might get some aggressive play from the United Kingdom, the UK player, as he takes on the French line. So he's just kind of skirmishing down. The French might be going for a cav charge here. We got some chasseurs cheval going in for the charge. And they will certainly get a good hit here and cut down a lot of these rifles. Really good charge, fantastic charge, breaking the rifles, but unfortunately his men also break as well. So was it worth it? Not really, because this unit's just going to return. The cav is going to return as well, but at least I like the attempt, right? I like the aggressive play, trying to take out those rifles. But man, this mod is fantastic. Fingers crossed that this does not crash. Because if it crashes, this entire battle will be, the video will just be lost. It gets corrupted. So, yeah, and these battles are an hour long. You don't know how many times, guys, I've been really close, like 5 minutes, the battle's almost over, and then it crashes and it's forever gone. It's the worst. But anyways, yeah, back to the fight. More troops lining up. This is really just the calm before the storm, basically, where the armies are forming up to kill. The United Kingdom, I think that a lot of this game is gonna, like, if the Spanish alliance, if they want to win this one, it's gonna come down to the UK player. I think he's one of the last hope of getting around the 2 hill positions. If he can break through this French army and then wrap around and break this line and help the Bavarians charge up this hill, that's a good way of them winning this one. Now, Sweden, on the other hand, what are they doing? They're still going into the trees. Being really sneaky, guys. Extremely sneaky. He's got more troops in the road. So Sweden, he's doing something, guys. He's coming up with a plan. Is this Sweden too? Okay, so he does. It's not like he's completely sending everything over to this side. He does have some troops to help out with this massive line battle. Artillery opening up fire, trying to get some kills from far away. And then back over here, I really think the battle is going to really pick up on this side, where the French are now beginning to push forward. He's got his line infantry. Ooh, the UK opening fire first, though. That's unfortunate. That's the problem of attacking first. Usually you don't get the first volley. And the French are lining up, but they're not firing, just not yet. He's got his artillery close by. They're also going to support his line infantry as they fight the very strong empire. There we go. Now the French are firing. Now they're opening fire. Got the Voltigeurs, got some skirmishers supporting the lines. Probably taking out the British rifles back here. Nice little skirmish battle in front of the line infantry. Very important to victory, trying to take out the enemy skirmishers and using yours very effectively. Russia is not moving up their troops just yet. France he's got a lot of his troops really blobbed up here, but I don't think there's any artillery. Let's see what's up here. He's got his general Karl. He's just like, yes, battle. Yes, everything is going according to plan. But the French are really pushing on this right flank, so maybe they're going to try to overwhelm the British and then just kind of wrap around and surround their forces. We'll see what happens here, though. Again, this is going to be really important to this fight because this is like an even playing field, you know? There's no hills, it's just flat open ground. So I think that's why the players are more aggressive here, because they don't feel like they're at a disadvantage. So some great skirmishing shots there. British rifles are still holding pretty strong. They still have quite a bit of troops in each unit. So it's not like they're losing decisively or anything like that. Russia is now marching forward. So Russia might be joining his French ally. France is now marching forward. So we might get some aggressive line infantry fighting here. We also have some cav moving on to the right flank. So I think France might be going in for the kill. France and Russia, they might just try to break through here. Now the UK also have set up some artillery to support their troops on breaking. Oh man, it's so epic. Just an epic battlefield. So great. Now also, look over here on the minimap. You can see the German faction, they have pushed up and they are kind of trying to get behind the enemy lines. Now Sweden's waiting for them. And I don't think he knows that Sweden is waiting for him. Maybe he just assumes. I don't know what's going through the player's head right now, but I think he's aware that something is probably over this hilltop here in this forest waiting for them. So that's going to be pretty exciting as a player. Just like, oh, what's coming up? Who knows? So yeah, the French are pushing forward. They're going to try to put a lot of pressure on the British rifles and hopefully kill some of the British lines. France is also moving up more line infantry this way. His Voltigeurs are still holding the center position. Artillery also in the center as well, supporting the line infantry. The French lines have taken some pretty heavy casualties. They've lost already about 20 men over here. So if he can charge the cav around, no, he's not going for a cav charge just yet. If we look over on the other side though, ooh, the casualties are way worse for the British over here. The 3rd Foot Guards, Scots Guards, down to 98 men. Taking a beating from the French lines, and I just love the flash from the guns. It's just so fantastic. This is what we live for. I love Napoleonic Total War 3. It is a fantastic mod, and if you haven't played it, I highly recommend. If you enjoy realism, this is your mod. This is it, guys. Now, one thing I have to mention, siege battles, not as fun. Not as fun on this mod. They're very slow, and it just doesn't seem very balanced for siege battles, so I don't recommend playing Siege. But yeah, the pinch battles, unlike anything before. Just like unbelievable. Crazy awesome engagements. Oh my god, the artillery ripping through the Landwehr. Hanoverian Landwehr. And now, okay, here we go. The French are pushing the chasseurs. They're going to try to get behind enemy lines. Now the British are waiting for it. They're trying to set up a little defense here against that cav. And more French charging this way. We even have the general marching this way, charging this way. And the French are stretching out more lines here. Put pressure on the British lines. And this is just a bloody fight, guys, right now for this one building, this farmhouse. And that's a fancy farmhouse. It's more like a mansion there. But, oh man, I love this. Look at these guys up here watching the battle from down below. I love those uniforms. They look great. But yeah, they're watching the line battle with the Russian support. This is definitely making this more challenging for the British. If we hold the thought, hold that thought there, we've got, I think, a little bit. Yes, we do have an engagement over here. Let's see what's happening. We've got some Jaeger from the German faction pushing up. Some line infantry as well, so they're going to try to fire down on the Swedish forces. Sweden holding with some line infantry. There we go. So nothing as like scale-wise of what's going on from compared to the other side. But Sweden's actually moving. Oh, look at this. Is he falling back? He's falling back because Sweden comes out of nowhere with a little ambush over in the forest. And now he's trying to maneuver. He's not falling back. He's just repositioning and trying to fight Sweden, who just came out of nowhere in the forest. And Sweden's actually... Is he falling back, or is he just going to reform? I think he's reforming. And now we also have these troops over here too. So Sweden is just pulling the element of surprise right now. And he's got troops coming from the back, from the rear. So he's going to be able to encircle these troops who have pushed way too far from their allies' lines. Let's real quick go back over this way where we can see what's going on. The juiciest part of the battle happening right here. Grenadiers really focusing fire. The British cav is deep in enemy territory. I think they slaughtered some British cav, and now they're free to roam around. UK is looking pretty rough right now. They are getting chewed up as we speak. Now we've got artillery is about to get charged here by the French cav. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. There they go. Very nasty charge. And then we got more dragoons pushing forward, getting behind the British as they continue to fight the rest of the French infantry. Not a good start for the Spanish alliance. Very rough start. And the French should be able to clean up this mess and continue to put pressure. Well, Sweden might be able to do the other thing. What am I trying to say here? Sweden might be able to pull this, basically defeat this German faction like the French are defeating the British over there. And yeah, he's got him on the run. He's falling back. Sweden has superior positioning. He's going to fire at their backs. He's even going to charge in his cav, trying to prevent them from running away. More Swedish troops coming out of the woodworks, coming out of the trees, ready to just look at it. He is just out of there. He is running so fast. More and more Swedish cav coming in, trying to prevent them from fleeing. This is an excellent ambush by Sweden. I love it. Great patience and great execution there. Did a good job. All right, now the troops are forming square. Sweden needs to fall back his cav, get him out of there. Do not want to lose him to square formation. And yeah, he should be able to run these guys down, prevent them from fleeing. Who knows? But regardless, that was really good moves there by Sweden. I love the fact that over here it's like guerrilla tactics, but over here this is like the most classic Napoleonic engagement. And the French, look at them, look at them. They're now pushing and trying to swing the trap door. Basically, the UK is preparing for that though. It's got a lot of fancy troops here. Spain, actually, this is not UK. This is Spain. Spain is ready to hold against the French. But this is a good start. A good start for the French alliance. They might be able to push through here if they continue to just go down this way and get around them. If they keep causing Spain to keep stretching his lines, it's going to be a pretty good engagement. Now over here, Bavaria is pushing towards the center, using his Jaegers, try to soften up the French lines. And they've been doing a pretty good job. They've gotten a decent amount of kills. The Swiss lines are actually kind of starting to lose morale a little bit, which is good. They might be able to break through the French center lines, which would be fantastic. Back over here, Sweden still chasing down this faction. The general is in melee? Wait, no, the French. Okay, the French have sent up reinforcements. Like, oh my god, we got to send support over to this faction. So yeah, the French are coming over to support. What is, yeah, Württemberg. Württemberg. Alright, so the French are going to fall back. He was going to go for a charge there, but Sweden very wisely formed square. Able to get a single volley at the backs of the cav, and they're going to continue to push forward. I love how they keep pushing forward in square formation for a little bit, and then they go back to line. That looks awesome. Like, great discipline there, great training. So nice, a little open battle is about to unfold over here as well, and Sweden's making a great push. Let's head back. Oh, the fighting is getting pretty intense in the center. Still just the line infantry taking on the skirmishers. Back over here, this is really the juiciest part. Look at this. This is almost getting a little too messy here for the Russians and French. And the French are actually falling back a little bit. So we're going to have like a battle. Well, this is a road, but there's some water in it, so it's almost like a creek here. But a battle between the two different sides of the road. And Spain continues to hold on. France is going to continue to push down this way. and hope for the best. So there's about 29 minutes left in the battle replay. We've seen some really great tactics from both teams. The French were going in for another charge. They decided to pull away. That's very wise. Sweden once again formed square, but he's going to continue to push back this faction and take the high ground. I mean, he's going to get this really great positioning here, this vantage point, and they don't really have to keep pushing, but they can. I mean, they could take this capture point right here, which is worth 4 points. And if they take this, it's pretty much game over, unless they can take it back, of course. But yeah, that's going to be huge right there. Okay, Bavaria is now pushing up their line infantry. I think he's kind of tested the waters with his skirmishers. He noticed that they've really softened them up, and there is a chance for his line infantry to actually push forward and potentially break through this French center. Oh, it's going to be tough, though. Bavaria's got a very challenging task ahead, but I guess he feels like he's got to do something as his teammates continue to tactically retreat. Spain is falling back once again. And France was thinking about engaging, but I think France is... Oh, yeah, that's why they're falling back. This is why, guys. We got 3 French cav units, or is that 4? He's got 4 French cav units going around the Spanish lines. That's going to be difficult, and that is why he's falling back. So Spain is constantly on the run, but he has to make a stand eventually. He cannot just keep falling back because he will leave the flank of his allies completely open. Alright, now this faction is headed over more towards Sweden. Sweden causing a lot of issues for this German faction. So he's going to fall back, and he's kind of like doing the same thing Spain is doing. So it's like the battle's shifting. Like, it's hard to tell who's got the edge in this battle because Sweden's doing a great job. Really excellent job. It's just that he hasn't killed a lot of this faction yet. Over on the other side, France and Russia doing a great job, and they've killed a lot of the UK. I mean, the UK pretty much lost his army so far, and they're now fighting for this building. They're going to be able to take it out, and that's going to be another point for France. Let's get some close-ups over here where Russia is now pushing back the Spanish. There we go. The French have taken another building, and I believe now the French alliance is in the lead. They've got 4 points here, and actually, Spain took back this building. Wait, when did they do that? I'm pretty sure. I thought the Russians took this one, but apparently not. So I think it's still in favor of, or like points-wise, it's still in the lead for Spain, the Spanish alliance. Now we got the general of the UK just kind of YOLO charging in. Just trying to break some of these skirmishers, which he's doing. Pretty good job there. I mean, his army's pretty much gone, so it's not a big deal. And now, the Bavarians are taking a beating, guys. They're losing a lot of good men. Some French cav went in for a charge. It doesn't look like it was too effective. I think they got some kills on the light infantry, I believe. So, yeah, now Bavaria is going to fall back. I think that's a smart decision. I was a little worried for Bavaria, like, are they really going to go in and try to take this? Sweden's now pushing on this side as well. Look at it. Sweden's coming out of the trees. He's grouping up. He's really pushing. He might just take this capture point, which, like, oh, we got an allied general has fallen. Another general gone. That's probably the UK's general, so it's not that big of a deal. You know, since he doesn't have an army, it's not a huge deal. But yeah, Sweden's going for a victory. Sweden, maybe he realizes that his team is really suffering on this side, and he's like, you know what? If we're going to win this one, we got to take that 4-pointer. The 4 points way back near their deployment zone. That's the only way. So Spain is kind of holding around this building. Bavaria is falling back to Spain. They're kind of fighting back-to-back at this point, surrounded by French, Russians, and more French and Russians over on this side. Back here, Sweden is about to engage in an epic fight here. So I think pretty soon we're going to see a huge rumble, a huge battle between Sweden and Württemberg. So Sweden falling back a little bit. I don't think he likes the positioning there. The artillery up on this hilltop, making it very difficult for him. France is now pushing down. I think he's going to try to take advantage of the fact that Bavaria is falling back. We've got another building has fallen. Okay, there we go. They've taken the building finally. Oh, wait, no, that's not the right building. Or is it? No, that is the right building. Okay, this is the building you need to capture to get the 4 points. But yeah, this is where they make their stand. I mean, they can't fall back anymore. This is it. Württemberg, they've got to hold here if they want any chance of winning this one. They cannot lose that building. France still pursuing the Bavarians. Russians still firing down. I think they're going to try to soften up the Spanish who are in the building. There's 2 units holding up in this building. So it's going to be pretty difficult to try to charge in with bayonets and try to clear it out. But that might be what they might have to do that to win this fight. Now France, look at France. France and Russia not slowing down. They're going to continue their advance. They've got the advantage and they know it. They just have to be a little careful. They don't want to throw their men to death. You know, they don't want to send them into a very bad situation. So yeah, they're lined up, ready to go, ready to fire. There we go. Uh-oh, these guys, oh, see, they're breaking. See, Russia might be pushing his men a little too hard. And then we have Bavaria going in for a charge, cutting down the voltigeurs of the French. Well done, Bavaria. Good teamwork there. And the French are going to quickly try to line up, fire at that cav, and try to get them, you know, do some casualties. Not let them charge in without any kind of issues there. You know, you can't let them just charge in and get a bunch of kills. Russia just, oh my God, Russia broke so quickly. I think he just got a little too close to this building. I think he should have just stayed with the French and continued to get around the Bavarians. This other French army needs to push down as well. They need to sandwich in the Bavarians if they're going to achieve victory. Back here, the Swedish battle is underway. So we got some Jaegers here, and we have more line infantry lining up. So pretty soon this is going to get pretty intense. Very soon, I should say. And we've got 22 minutes left in the battle. It's been a great fight so far between these factions. And I still cannot tell who's going to win this one. Here's the point of view of the Württemberg. Nice little tree battle here. I like it. Okay, so yeah, it seems like, you know, at first I was like, wow, France, the French alliance, they're kicking ass right now. They're doing such a good job. But now that Russia kind of crumbled there, and like, I don't know, it's tough to say. This is going to be really challenging. The Spanish have set up artillery now with some line support. So even though they're surrounded, they're well prepared for this. You know, they've got plenty of troops over here that could easily hold out against the French if they're not careful. Now, back here, the Russians... What are the Russians doing? Seems like they're going in for a bayonet charge? Yeah, see, he charged in here, so maybe he's going to try to close in from the other side. Which it does look like, yep, he's going in from the other side. Unfortunately, one of his units break, but he's going to be able to charge in before this unit can turn around and get a shot off. But yeah, the Russians are, I think the Russians are just trying to disrupt this formation. Now he's got line infantry lining up. What a fight, guys. What a bloody fight. I love this flank from the French, doing a great job. Now the French are closing in, trying to avoid the artillery. You can see they're focusing on this little edge here of the Spanish defenses. They've also got to watch out for that building. The French are also pushing on the Bavarians. The Bavarians are in a very difficult situation. And then back over here, this battle right here might just decide the overall battle. Whoever wins this one right here will be victorious in the overall fight. Come on, men, fire. Fire! No, they're not going to go for it. More troops lining up, though. There we go. Sweden putting some pressure on here, but it's going to be tough for Sweden to break through here. He's got troops here, though. They're not engaging just yet. I don't know if these guys are hidden. So maybe they're just waiting for an opportunity to, you know, wait for the Württemberg to kind of leave this formation, and maybe he can catch them by surprise. But we'll see what happens. But right now, we've got a bloody battle in the patch of trees. All right, let's head back over to this critical moment in the battle where France is just really hammering down the Bavarians, chasing them down. Spain is starting to crumble against the might of France. And look at this mess, guys. Just the French are charging in. This is a bloody, bloody engagement. and Spain is starting to waver left and right. This is not good. It looks like after all the French and Russians are going to be able to take this one, but it's not over yet. I mean, the French are pretty depleted. They're about to get charged by by the Bavarians. So the Bavarians doing what they can to support their team on this side. Now we got a returning volley or charge from the French, trying to support their line infantry. Just chaos over here, complete chaos. It's hard to tell what's going on. A lot of Spanish troops are breaking, and the French are breaking too. Like, it's just everyone's just like, nah, we're not gonna fight here anymore. And Spain just might hold on thanks to that just like a little Bavarian reinforcements. And then back here, Bavaria, they're still falling back. They're fleeing from the marching or the aggressive French. They're just getting out of there. They're gonna fall back and probably support this fight over here. And Spain should, like I said, Spain should return here. They're not shattered. They're just broken. They'll come back. There we go. They're already coming back. They're already coming back. And I think France is starting to fall back as well. I think the two sides are going to slow down a little bit. But what's going on over here? Still progressing. Still progressing. Sweden has formed square, trying to zone out the French cav, the dragoons. I don't know if the French realize that their men are getting shot at right now, so you might want to move those troops around. Sweden's getting closer and closer. He's pushing back. He's pushing back the Germans here, the Württemberg. Oh, nice hits. And look, they're falling. They're freaking out. They're freaking out. Sweden might want to push up these men as well in the trees, or from the trees, and just pin these guys down as the rest of his infantry continue to surround these guys. So there is 17 minutes left in this battle, and I think Sweden might just win the day for his team. And look at this. The Dragoons, they're pretty much wasted. Finally, he realizes that they're getting shot, and he's going to... Oh, he might... No. Just get out of there, Dragoons. I think he was thinking about coming back and charging these guys. I don't think that would have been a good idea. Sweden now stretching out their lines. And we've got the Germans kind of falling back up on this hilltop. Now, Sweden could easily go around this way and get up on the hill and use this massive hill against them, which is definitely a possibility. There's still a lot of French lines here. Sweden still has a lot of troops. Bavarians have some troops as well. So it's a really close match. You can see the balance of power is pretty even. I would say it's slightly in favor of the French alliance. But Bavaria is still now using the tree line as kind of like a defense against the advancing French. And I think this is where Bavaria finally makes, they make their stand. I think this is going to be it. It's going to be a very important part of the battle. Woo, good volley there. And a lot of these Spanish line infantry, they're back. They're back in the fight. And Russia's falling back. It's just too many troops for them. Yeah, France might want to send over more troops over here. Yeah, you can see like, this is pretty cool in the mod. Your troops tend to break a little bit easier, but they come back, and it's like the two sides, they both were losing a lot of troops. Now they've kind of rested a little bit. They're sending back their men to re-engage once again. I mean, that's another reason. It's just the realism in this mod. It's just so fantastic. And these battles are an hour long, but it doesn't matter. It feels like only 5 minutes have gone by because it's just so exciting and so much going on, and just the sights and the tactics. It's just fantastic. All right, so Sweden's got their cav. They might be going in for a charge. Oh, I think they are. They are going for a charge. They're going to surprise attack this artillery. We even have the general, the German general, trying to protect his units, but it's going to be for nothing. The general dies. He is gone. And more cav running up this way. He's got to take care of this French dragoons. Oh my God. Did they take this building? No. Which building did they take? Okay, so Spain pretty much rules this area. Spain is controlling the center. But we got an epic line battle here. This is like the battle to end all battles. So this is going to be a really important fight. And the French are going to try to maneuver around some dragoons, try to get behind their lines. Bavaria is waiting for it, though. They've got some line infantry ready to fire. Boom, there you go. They didn't get a ton of kills, but they are putting pressure, and they are aware of the French flanks here, flanking around. So we'll see what happens here with this cav. They've got a nice bird's eye view. That's another cool thing about this mod is you can zoom out and it's still just as epic. Like seeing the smoke and all the troops fighting and firing, it's great. It is really great. The French though, oh, well the French got a couple healthy units over here. He's doing all right. The Spanish and Bavarians are kind of pushing them back, but they might be going into a trap here against these French. So we'll see what happens with that later on in the fight. I think over here things are getting pretty crazy with Sweden. Now Sweden was not able to take this hill, unfortunately, and his men are in a little bit of a tricky situation. Now Sweden has some troops over here as well, kind of marching towards the open field. Not sure what he's trying to do there, but obviously he's trying to surround this German state, German faction. Love the drums too. Everything just sounds, it just sounds so realistic, so fantastic. Okay, so let's head back here where, okay, the French cav making a move, guys. Going for the Bavarians, going for the Spanish. Let's see, this is going to be huge, guys. He might be able to break them here. Maybe he went for this this unit because they're too small to form square. I think they can form square. They might want to charge in bayonets. Oh, wait, Spain is winning on this flank. The Russian flank is crumbling. France is in trouble right now. France is in big trouble, and Spain is making a rally. Look at this. Spain is coming back. We got a little fight here going on as well. I think that, you know, as the time starts to slip away through the players' hands, they realize that they soon have to start to capture these buildings because, again, it's whoever has the most points wins the fight. So it's going to be really important that they take the buildings. So far, let's just do some slow motion really quick. If we look at the points, we've got 1 point here for France. You can see this is why France retreated. He took a point here. So that's 1. And Russia's trying to take this one. Russia should be able to take this one. So that would be 2. And then, of course, they have 4 here. So that would give them the lead, I'm pretty sure. Or would it be a tie? No, that would give them the lead. Yeah, for sure that would give them the lead. But if they lose this building, it could be disaster. If they lose it to Sweden, it's all going to end up right here. Whoever wins this engagement right here will be the overall victorious player. That is why France is sending over extra reserves over to support this engagement, because Sweden cannot take this building if the French alliance is going to win this battle. Crazy, guys. Crazy. So just tactical and strategy, and that's why, like, you gotta, like, be wise, and you can't throw away your army so early. Oh, here comes Sweden going in with a cav charge. The general actually going crazy, man. People using their generals left and right. But so far, the French alliance is in the lead, and I think this is the first time they had the lead in points the entire game. So we'll see what happens. Now, France might have enough troops to send over and try to take this building out, which is a possibility. This is an issue right here. The French are kind of now kiting the enemy. They once had the advantage on the hill. Now they have to fall back, just trying to slow down the Bavarians and the Spanish. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, let's see, where is that? Okay, there you go. There we go. The Russians have officially stolen this building. They've captured this building. The Spanish are going to go ahead and send in troops, though. Spain is going to fight for it. He's not going to give it up just yet. He wants the points. He wants the points. And Russia's going to give it to him. Russia's crumbling. They can't hold on to it. Very unfortunate for them. Oh, we got another enemy general. Who's general? I don't know. That's weird. Somebody's general died there. The French are now making their final stand against the Bavarian Spanish mob of troops. Hold, French. Hold. Oh, they're going to go for a charge. Going in for a bayonet charge. Really good job. I think he's just sacrificing one unit so the rest can fall back. Excuse me, sorry about that. So now the, oh, very nice. The German-French alliance here, they're holding. They're not going to give up this building, but again, it doesn't matter because they are losing. They've got to take one of these buildings. The French might... Yep, okay, cool. The French are pushing forward. They've got to take this building right here. That's the only way they're going to win this one. It's the only way they're going to win. And I think that's why he has his men ready to go to take this building here, to take the lead. Oh, God, the French are getting chased down now. They just have to hold their ground and fight against the Bavarians. France over here holding now as well. This is actually pretty close, though. The French might be able to turn this one around. I don't know. They're kind of losing decisively over here. So Spain is on its way. There is 8 minutes. 8 minutes left in the battle replay. And it's not... Well, it's looking okay. It's looking okay. But Sweden might be able to slowly but surely chip away at these forces and take out the building. We'll see what happens, but it's looking good. It's looking good. So I love how this battle is so back and forth. Very much back and forth. But yeah, Spain has this on lockdown. We got some Bavarian troops here, some line infantry, some Spanish lines here. They conquered this, so now they have 1, 2, and 4. So 4, 5, 6 points. And then the French side only has 5 points. So the French need to do something. They've got to do something. Spain is now falling back. So I guess they really want to make sure they don't lose those buildings over there. And here comes Sweden. Sweden, not good. Sweden might be able to just... They might be able to capture... They are fighting for it in melee. Look at this. Troops are charging in to put up the good fight. Even though it's not technically necessary. I mean, the only way for the French and the French alliance to win is to basically win here and then send over their troops all the way over to those other buildings and capture those. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Who's down here? Okay, Sweden. Okay, never mind. For a second, I thought like one of the French alliance factions took that building down there. I was like, hold on. What's going on here? Yeah, but Sweden's kicking butt. This entire battle, they've been kicking butt and just slaughtering the Württemberg troops. Now, oh, look at this. Bayonet charge from line infantry. More troops charging in, line infantry. Here we go. France is... Oh, we got a death of a general. I believe that's all the allied generals. I think that for the Spanish alliance, I think that's all of them. France is now going to send up reinforcements because Sweden is now taking the building. And, wow. They're going to completely take all of the points. They're going to take all of the points away from the French alliance. There is 6 minutes left in this battle. Another general dead on the battlefield, gone. I don't know, this is so dangerously close. Let's see what's going on back over here. I'm sure the units are fighting the good fight. Yeah, France is sending over troops to try to slow down the Spanish. The French are not going for it. They're just not going for it. Oh, here we go. We got a little bit of fight here, but... Well, actually, where did these French troops come from? I don't know, kind of surprising the Spanish. We got Napoleon himself in the fight. I bet he died already. I think he died earlier on. But yeah, the French are not going to be able to take it. The Spanish have it on lockdown. They've got this one on lockdown. Look at all the extra troops they have here. And France is only going to be able to hold on to this one building. They're going to have 1 point. It's going to be 8. It'll be 8, 9. It'll be 10 to 1. 10 to 1 at the end of this struggle. There we go. Oh yeah, they're crushing them. Sweden's won. Sweden is victorious, and now all they have to do is just kind of wait it out. There's 5 minutes left. Now there are a couple French troops still here, still fighting the good fight, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to hold this down and win this one. So yeah, a very awesome battle though, guys. I mean, so back and forth, so back and forth. Here comes France. I mean, do you believe in miracles? Because This is it. It's all up to these guys. A small, pretty much like regiment of forces. There goes another general. General's just dying left and right. Yeah, come on, France. Now, France technically hasn't captured this because he doesn't have any troops in there. But Spain is waiting for him. This is the final battle. So yeah, that was really cool. At the beginning of the fight, the UK just crumbled, and it seemed like the French alliance was going to crush the Spanish alliance. But Spain started to crumble as well, and then they came back and turned it around. So it was a great little twist there. Battle to the very end. France is starting to lose now. They're outmaneuvered. They're surrounded. Just surrender. Drop your guns. Fall. Retreat. Do whatever. Because this building has been captured, and it's going to be over quick. There we go. They're breaking. Sweden was able to just clean out the defenses over here and take the 4-point capture point. That was excellent maneuvering and fighting from him. Now France is forming up, ready. Like, this is the last engagement. There's 3 minutes left. We'll go ahead and fast forward a little bit here, guys, because I think it's quite clear who's going to win this one. It's obviously going to be the Spanish alliance. They did a great job of not freaking out. As soon as it looked like they were going to lose the battle, they did not freak out. They just did some tactical retreating. You know, they came back. The French, I think, just kind of pushed themselves a little too far, and they really suffered a lot there. We'll go back to normal speed because we got a nice little line engagement. The French are just putting up their final fight here to do what they can, though it's completely in vain. They cannot win this one. So at the end of the battle, the official points here, so it's 4, 8, and then 9, 10 against 0, because no one's captured this yet. So 10-0 at the end of the day. And I think the French, I mean, I don't know, like, it's just, again, I think the Russians and French just kind of pushed themselves too hard. I think that's what it's going to come down to, because they had superior positioning up on this hill. It just yeah, they pushed themselves too thin, and the Spanish were able to recover very nicely. I mean, this entire battle was like going in favor of the French alliance. You know, like at the very beginning when they surrounded the Spanish, when they had their like vanguard troops in the front line, I was like, oh man, the French alliance is looking really good. And then once they started to defeat the UK, I was like, okay, they've got this one. But as soon as they started pushing back here, I was like, I don't know, like the Bavarian Spanish lines, they are holding and they're causing some issues. So we'll just fast forward. The French are now falling back. There is only 20 seconds left in the fight. We'll just close it up. Wouldn't it suck if it just crashed right here? I just die. I just be like, I'm done with YouTube. It's over. All right, so here we go. Here's the end results. Good game to all the players. I believe this was sent in by the Spanish player. So thank you, Will. Communism will prevail. Okay, actually, his general died at the very beginning. I am sorry. I got that wrong. So yeah, Spain did pretty well there. They got the most kill, or second the most kills, but really closest to Sweden. Sweden did a really good job. Hellfire Jack, he did a wonderful job, which he mostly did by himself. So he caused some issues for the back lines of the French alliance. Now over here, who did the best? Ooh, France, 1,500. Well done. Russia kind of struggled there. Or, no, that's not Russia. That's the Württemberg. They really struggled there, getting just under 600 kills. But you can say the same thing about the UK, kind of struggled getting just 400 kills. It's, you know, these battles are crazy intense, and it's a matter of positioning, and you could easily lose your army. But if you look at the stats here, just real quick, a look at the most kills. It was his, I don't know what that is. I think it's like a guerrilla attack. I don't know. No, it's a guard unit. So line infantry. His artillery in second with 207 kills. So pretty cool stuff, guys. I hope you enjoyed this battle. I love these massive 4 vs 4 Napoleonic Total War 3 battles. They're so epic and so much fun. So thanks, guys, for watching. And if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, share, and of course subscribe. And I will see you in the next battle. Thanks for watching, guys.